Jordan, seeing right now a tweet from Adam Schefter. Rams and nine-time All-Pro linebacker Bobby Wagner mutually agreed Thursday to part ways, sources tell ESPN. Rams need more cap space. Wagner wants to win. He will now be a notable part of this year's free agent class. What effect do you think that'll have on the defense? But also, too, that line, Rams need more cap space. Wagner wants to win. Does that signal something to you, do you think, in terms of what the Rams think is coming this season?
Yeah, so this doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, I suspected that something like this was coming because Bobby didn't sign up for this. He didn't sign up for what happened to the team last year, but he still stayed the course and was a leader throughout the entire space when he was expecting to go chase a ring. And instead, he became and he had to be sort of the backbone of the group in ways that maybe you don't want to be when you're that. You want to be that always for people, but you don't want to be the only raft in the storm here when so much is happening. And so, I do think that Bobby would want to go to a contender. I do think that he's at the point where he knows the level he can play at. And if he doesn't feel the Rams are in immediate contention, that's something that he definitely, has the autonomy and the authority to do. So it does not surprise me to see this. And I think in terms of the overall state of the team, there's tough decisions coming. No player on the roster feels like their spot is guaranteed at this point. And I do know that for a fact. And the Rams are going to be making some really tough decisions moving forward. And I think that this is a first step in showing how difficult that communication is going to be. They are going to really have some decisions on how they want to maximize the capital that they might be able to get from possibly trading some players. So this is a team that's, I don't think, going to break it all down and start from scratch. This is a team that I think they're going to try things like you saw again in 2019 when they rebuilt their entire defense by trading for Jalen Ramsey at a full-on sprint, and it set them up for winning the Super Bowl a couple of years later. I think that's more aligned with what you're probably going to see from this group, is not a total teardown, but a sort of, as you're sprinting, how can you kind of overhaul certain areas of your roster and get back some capital?
We're talking to Jourdan Rodrigue from The Athletic. Jourdan, you mentioned no player feels safe. Does that include the big three? Or I guess I can throw Stafford in there and call it a big four. Stafford, Kupp, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. One of those guys, or more than one, might not be on the roster moving forward?
With this team, I don't think you can avoid asking the question, right? And if you're a player, you're definitely asking that question because of this team's history. They are very clear-eyed and sort of, I don't say this in a mean way, but cold when it comes to making these decisions. They think about the big picture of what they need in the short term and the long term. And so, I've been predicting for a while now that this offseason is going to be crazy for this team. And it's already starting with this Bobby Wagner news. And frankly, it started a while ago when Sean decided, I'm going to return to this team and let go of half of his coaching staff. I think that you can't ever be surprised with what this team does. And that's a part of why the players are feeling what they're feeling. It's not that there's a lack of clarity. They just know that all is on the table, all is in play for this team.